Today, we're heading overseas, We're going to meet a train which used to serve London and has now earned its retirement on an island. We're going to meet 007.
Right, this vehicle is strictly not reward and hire, but is insured for business purposes. I know you've all gone the way of the lateral flow, and we're on our way to Haven Street from Ryde.
Did you put this on an app, Sydney?
Yeah.
Did you put this on an app? Because, I mean, I don't talk to us. I don't want any talking.
Sorry, I actually asked for a quiet ride.
So today, we're here to watch the handover of James Bond of all trains, haven't we?
We are, yes. 007 has earned its retirement forever.
And 007 is the number on the front of the train, isn't it? Like the unit number, if you like.
It
cool.
is.
And these trains, they date back to 1938 on the London Underground?
They do, yeah. They were of slightly different ages. There's some from 38, some from 39. Yeah, be good to see it again.
It'd be very, very nice to see it. And this was the one that was painted up beautifully for the closure of the line in January, wasn't it? So it's beautifully painted.
It's almost like it was going to a museum.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
Yeah. Here we are now.
Here we are.
Thanks, driver. Thanks. Amazing. Haven Street. Welcome to the Hidden London Hangouts. We're on the Isle of Wight today for a very, very special episode where the Isle of Wight Railway is adopting a 1938 tube train that ran on this island until the beginning of 2021. With me, as always, is the crew, Chris Nix from the London Transport Museum, Siddy Holloway, frankly, my catamaran partner this morning.
Fast Cat.
And Fast Cat, and Laura Hilton-Brown, you're here as well.
Hello.
And it is a big day, isn't it, for this museum, Chris, because the 1938 tube stock, the oldest railway trains that were in operation, this one has been donated to the museum, and it looks amazing, doesn't it?
It is fabulous that it got a refurb, and then it got to go back out on the line for a little while, to get a bit of seagull on it, get the sea air, and then come in here and turn its retirement. It's lovely to see it.
And since it's not just the exterior, is it? I mean, inside has been done up as well.
It's really nice, and they've reupholstered the seats and kind of done it all up really nicely, and what a joy for them to be able to share this with generations to come.
Absolutely. And the thing about this train, Laura, is it takes you back to a graceful time, doesn't it, in tube travel? Art Deco train. It looks beautiful inside and outside, and it takes you some places quite romantic, doesn't it?
It really does, and it's an absolute pleasure to have been invited here today. And you know me, anything that combines accessibility, journeys and connectivity is a great story in my book.
I love the fact as well. Let's take a look at this actually, because a beautiful ribbon was cut to open this train and make it something that anyone can come and see at this museum.
Thank you, all of you, for coming today to the unveiling of 483-007, which we'll hand to Claire in a minute. On a really personal level, this is a special day for me and everybody at the railway. To my eternal regret, I was too young to see a steam train chug down Ryde Pier, but my childhood was going on one of these. So I'm very delighted that it's here at the Isle of Wight Steam Railway. I'm really glad my daughter will be able to come and see it, and her daughter, and so on, that future generations will be able to get on board and see what it was like to travel on an underground train on the Isle of Wight. So if I can hand over to Claire Mann, who's going to he's got the scissors, she's armed and dangerous, and can cut a ribbon and say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. You've just summed it up. I'm absolutely delighted to be here today for this beautiful train, so iconic and so loved by the island, to come to the most amazing steam museum. The steam railway here will look after this 1938 rolling stock really well, I know. Having worked hard on the underground until 1988, the Island Line received this stock in 1989, 1990, where they have been lovingly looked after by the amazing team at Ryde Depot. This train is named after Jess Harper as depot manager at Ryde for many years with an incredible team. And Jess was all about team, looked after this rolling stock and made sure that it provided the best service ever on the Island Line. I'm delighted to hand it over today. Now, I heard that when the announcement came out that we were replacing the rolling stock, they kind of heard this and started to age very quickly. So to see this train here looking so beautiful today is absolutely amazing for me, and I cannot be more delighted to hand it over to a more amazing railway society than this. So I'm just about to cut the ribbon, sorry, and say congratulations to receive this train. Thank you.
So we are gathered here today for the handover of this beautiful 1938 tube stop to the Isle of Wight Railway. We're delighted at what you guys have done. Claire, you're from South Western Railway.
Yeah.
You have done a wonderful job refurbishing this train, and then you've given it over so a whole new group of people can enjoy it.
Absolutely, it deserves to be looked after, and I know the Steam Railway will do that. This train, this rolling stock on the Island Line, is so iconic. People go to the Isle of Wight to use the Island Line to see the underground stop on the line. So to see its life continue beyond operation on the Island Line and be looked after and cared for so well by the Steam Railway is just a brilliant sort of last few years of their lives. Well, as long as they can stay here.
It's fantastic. And Peter, what does it mean to your railway to get this?
Well, we consider ourselves to be the conservatoires of island rail heritage. So it's absolutely relevant that we have the benefit of having this enough community. We're delighted to have it here, and it's in such beautiful condition, having just completed the restoration. It's just really good news all in all. And it's marvellous that you can put this in train store, you can look after it, and it just gives another something else for our visitors to enjoy.
And this is not a question for you, Chris, because you will know, but girls, we've talked about moquette so many times. Name where this would have been on the London Underground.
This is a lovely one. It's one of my favourites, actually.
Anybody?
Anybody? This is from the Metropolitan line.
Perfect.
And of course, now that we've done the inside of the saloon, you know where I want to go next, don't you?
Driver.
Got to be in the driver's
Driver
cab.
stuff.
I'm sure you've got the key between you.
I haven't.
Claire, Peter,
She's handed it
Just
over.
hop over.
jump
Wait,
in.
come on, Chris, climb over.
Okay, let's do it.
Give it a lead.
Claire, Peter, thank you so much for joining us
That's
on the
right,
Hidden London Hangouts. We're loving the fact this has got a whole new life and a whole new home.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
One of the things I absolutely love about the Hidden London Hangouts, the madness of Chris Nix, is that you always bring a prop. And today you've brought a lovely old historic case with you. Why?
Well, thank you. This is a case that's been on its travels, and the luggage labels for this one have always made me a bit curious because they've got crosses and other shapes on them. And I've asked people and can't find out why. But today, we've got somebody here I think might have the answer. One ex-commissioner, Sir Peter Hendy. Now, Peter, thank you for travelling down with us. I've got a little case here that's been on its travels to some of the places on the island. But I've got a bit of curiosity about the detail on here, because some of the labels have got no cross on them, and some of them have got crosses on them. And I'm curious about what the reason for that might be. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, I do. I think one possibility is that it denotes the ferry crossing to the Isle of Wight, either Portsmouth to Ryde or Lymington to Yarmouth or Southampton to Cowes. But another possibility, which I suspect is more likely, is that it's about passengers' luggage in advance.
Right.
So, and because the Isle of Wight was an island, because you had to travel by boat, there was a huge traffic in holiday times for passengers' luggage in advance. Someone will show you pictures of a luggage-only train that ran between Ryde Pier and Ventnor in Surrey, and I suspect it might be that actually.
Well, I guess that would make quite a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Because you'd be able to see it at a glance if you were a guard or a porter taking those off the train, and you'd know to leave the other ones for the owner to come and collect. So that's a really good thought. That's been bugging me since I noticed that about 6 months ago, and I'm sure if we're not right on that, then there'll be somebody out there on the Hangout.
Somebody always
excitedly writing.
Absolutely.
I've got the answer.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
But I remember those labels. Yeah. And I've had luggage with those labels in the 50s and 60s.
It's always nice to see where your case has been.
Yeah,
it's a sort of record of your holidays.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the other lovely things about today is we get to ride on a steam train. a beautiful steam train. And Chris, once again, props department's come good because you have a lovely leaflet from, what, the 50s?
Yeah, it looks like it's 50s. It's kind of British Railways totem device. This is how to get to the Isle of Wight. And inside it, it shows you map of the islands, all these places that you can go to. But it crucially shows you the line that we're about to go on still in service to Newport. And you can see the line still round past Shanklin down to Ventnor, which is rather lovely. Now, I know, Laura, you've been holidaying on the island this week, so where have you been on here?
This is a gorgeous map, and I love that it's called the Garden Isle as well, so this is great. So, we are staying in Ventnor, and we have been to the old village in Shanklin, we've been to the Shanklin coast and Sandown, and we've done a fishing boat trip in Yarmouth as well, and we've been to the beach in freshwater. So I've got Newport and the castle and Cowes still to go to. A few more places.
And Cindy, I know this is your first visit, so where takes your fancy?
Ooh, I mean, it all looks really lovely. At the moment, I could really just do with lying on a beach, relaxing, but the weather's not great today, so
windy.
I'd love to see the castle. Actually, I've got a soft spot for castles.
Now, Alex, the place at the top, Cowes, reminds me when I used to be a teacher. My favourite joke I was ever told by a 10-year-old, which is what steams and comes out of Cowes backwards.
Oh, the Isle of Wight ferry. Yes, of course. Took a little while there. But you know, I can smell coal. Can you smell coal? I think it's time to board that train.
Yes, it is.
Let's go.
Here we are on the Isle of Wight Railway in a beautiful moquette coach, and what I would say is, if you like what we've been talking about today, Season 2, Episode 12 is all about the Isle of Wight's tube trains. So watch that and then come back to this, and everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Now, Chris, we are in a beautiful piece of, well, technology from yesteryear, really.
It is. I mean, you've got to admire the construction of it. I mean, it's really lasting. It's lovely, heavy mahogany wood, leather straps. You know, there's other. I mean, look at the maquette.
I know, isn't it lovely? It's beautiful.
What do you think of the design skills? Because we've got, you know, I must say, obviously, just looking at my rucksack here, as generally the case, teeth that I am.
Here we go. Here we go.
The joyous, this is Bird of Paradise.
That's beautiful, actually.
Have a little look at that one.
Is lovely.
Beautiful.
Do you know, I thought I saw a seat missing a piece of fabric.
I can't move because it's where I'm supposed to be sitting. It's exactly the same stuff.
I do like green.
And then there's that one, and that one is, I think that is actually a pastiche of an original maquette, like from a long time ago.
Oh wow.
This is
And that's
bold.
really beautiful. It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's given me sort of devil vibes.
Oh,
but,
really?
You know, not like a
Doesn't take
bad
much,
way.
does it?
Yeah.
To be fair.
El Diablo.
But it is really rather lovely that we are here and you can smell the smoke as it goes past. It's quite dreamy,
It's
isn't
a
it?
very civilised way to travel because it's a very comfortable coach, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's lovely high backs. You've got somewhere to put your luggage.
Yep.
You've got mirrors, you know. I'm sure people would like to see those return on trains.
Absolutely.
And a little bit of panel artwork as well. So
Oh,
these scenes of where else you might go on the travel.
It's glorious. Two things, by the way. First of all, thank you to Helen and thank you to Tony, our camera operators today.
Yes.
Helen came along for the ride. Tony works here and is a star. So thank you very much to them. And also, you know, girls, what do you make of the whole thing, the carriage, the steam train, the Isle of Wight Railway? Thoughts on your day?
what I love about what we've just found out about this carriage is some of the artwork around the carriage here that you can see in the frames. Some of it is actually original, so when they took some of the posters off, the more contemporary posters, they found originals behind. So there's one up here which says Southampton Docks. That's an original picture, and we've got some, I guess, interpretations and some other artwork. But these, I think, are original too. So you actually sat in a carriage with original artworks, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And I think the whole experience for me of a steam train is just really lovely and romantic. I'm without my kids today, so it's even better in that respect, obviously. But I think this is tunnel. I think this is a really lovely trip for families as well.
Yeah.
And they've got a falconry back at Haven Street, which we're going to have to go and check out when we go back, guys. I think that's a lovely addition to your day, right?
Yeah, I know. And I really love, actually, being able to do this go on a steam train because it's something that, you know, most of us will never have done in our actual lifetime, you know, travelled on something like this. It's so lovely to be able to kind of imagine what travel used to be back in the day. And actually I just spotted that up there, the alarm signal to stop the train, pull down the chain, penalty,
no tooting.
£5. £5.
I'm guessing if you actually did pull it now, we would get charged more than that.
I think so, but £5 back in the day, I mean... This,
oh, I love this! This is great!
Alex,
I'm so sorry. I'm nicking my cat. I'm so sorry. This train is on its way to, effectively, Smallbrook Junction, where it joins up with the Island Line when it's open again. And that station was put in by Network South East.
Yeah, and
it's actually added to the...
It's where goes, what you can see here on the map, where this line originally used to join up with the line off towards Wight. So we're going to get close to that original experience today.
It's lovely, it's beautiful. And the rolling hills of the Isle of Wight is just beautiful. So I think we should just sit back, relax and enjoy the ride.
The island is gorgeous, and I can't recommend enough taking the steam train if you come.
Alex actually said enjoy the ride on the Isle of Wight.
Oh, why dear.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
Or not as auto-corrected on an email to everybody. Just
yes.
Rude
we're going to Rude Esplanade. Only the Hidden London Hangouts.
You don't
go
do
to
that.
Rude Esplanade.
Anyway, yeah, do come because it's an amazing place.
So before we go, I've obviously been on holiday here because I love this place so much. So I've been here for a week, and I got you all a little treat. Very small.
Rock candy.
It's Prosecco.
It's Prosecco flavoured rock.
That is fantastic.
Green.
I saw it and
saving
thought
us
of you
for later.
guys.
Did you suck on it? Is that what you did?
I think so.
Less longer if you
Let me
do.
try.
I think while Sidney does that, I think one last thing about this experience of being in here that I love. Nowadays with trains, used to being open and in with everybody else. But isn't it nice? We can be in this compartment together. It's a much more social experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the best thing is, the people in the neighbouring compartments are glad they're not in here with us.
Very glad. Notice there's no curtains either.
Yes.
Because they like privacy, but there's not that much privacy.
You might have had blinds originally.
Could have done.
Yeah.
Could have done. I was thinking more about the sort of stuff you can't get up to.
Right.
No curtains.
Are we doing it?
Oh, I should have got myself one too.
Would you like to suck on mine?
It's fine, thank you.
Wow, right.
Yummy.
Interesting flavour.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, guys, we finally met Mr. Bond, 007.
We sure have.
I should have brought the cat so I could sit here and do the blowfelt on the sofa.
Yeah, a lot bigger than I thought.
Indeed, and quite metallic, but as we've said before, it's so lovely. This old tube train has finally found its home to retire and still please so many people to come to this museum. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for hosting us today. Chris Nix, Sidney Holloway, Hidden London Law, Alex London, and at LT Museum. Find us on Instagram. Also on YouTube, you found us because you're watching us. Like, subscribe and comment any questions you've got about our series. We want to know and then we'll get answers for you. We're going to be starting Series 4 next week. It's going to be a belting episode. Have yourself a great day and stay safe.